The next video in the EasyHireFirefighter program will cover the commonly asked interview question of, what have you done to prepare for a career in the fire service? In this video, we will examine why candidates typically struggle with this question. We will discuss what constitutes as preparation for a career in the fire service, along with covering how you can relate almost any education, employment, or life experience as your preparation in becoming a firefighter. Here at EasyHireFirefighter, we have found that candidates who struggle with this question often fall into one of two categories. The first category is those who fail to discuss enough topics about what they have done in preparation for this career. These candidates often pick just a few topics to discuss, which are generally related to fire classes or fire academies which they have completed. Individuals who respond in this manner will usually have short answers and fail to provide enough examples in order to gain max points. Just remember, other candidates will have likely taken many of the same courses and have a similar fire-related education. Answering in this short and narrow fashion will not set you apart from others. Rather than answering in this simple manner, we will teach you how to bring everything you have done to this point in your life to the interview table in order to illustrate how you are fully prepared for this career. The topics you should discuss when answering this question include your education, employment, and life experiences. It is important to list as many of these topics as possible and relate each of these to the fire service. This, in fact, is the second area that candidates seem to struggle with. They will list their education or experiences, but fail to illustrate how these topics relate to the fire service. When asked the question, "What have you done to prepare for the job?" you will answer in a personalized fashion and should include the topics found in this video. It is important that you answer this question in a manner that is easy to understand and follow. In order to best achieve this, you should always list your experience and preparation in chronological order. Answering in chronological order will allow your answer to flow better and becomes more easily understood, which should ultimately lead to higher scores. Everyone will answer this question differently depending on your age and experiences. Younger candidates will typically answer this question by relating experiences they may have had during high school, such as sports or summer employment, and that's okay. Other candidates, however, will most likely answer this question in a manner that will more heavily involve employment history and life experiences. Whichever way you choose to answer this question, it's imperative that you make sure to list several topics and then discuss how these experiences relate to the job. Many candidates will answer this question by starting out with their education. If you were a good student in high school, don't be afraid to state this. It's important for you to discuss any classes, degrees received, or educational programs you have completed. Even if these degrees or programs do not directly relate to the fire service. For example, if you received a bachelor's degree in a field that does not relate directly to the fire service, it still illustrates to the interview panel that you set out with the goal to further your education, and you were successful in achieving this. Education is very easily relatable to the fire service. Here we listed an example educational experience one could state to their oral board. Education is very important to me. It was a dream of mine to go to college and receive my degree. I fulfilled that dream when I received a bachelor's degree in biology from fill-in-the-blank university. While I understand that my degree may not be directly related to the fire service, I did take numerous courses relating to the human body. In taking these classes, I have gained a better understanding of human anatomy and physiology, which has allowed me to become a better EMT. I also understand that a career in the fire service is one of continual education, making sure you remain current on all fire tactics and EMS procedures. I have always been a good student, and I feel this characteristic will benefit me during both a professional fire academy and throughout my career as a firefighter. We want you to take note of this sample answer listed above. Not only did we list what education we may have completed, but also clearly showed how it relates to a career as a firefighter. You don't have to make a connection on all the education and classes you list. For example, if you state you got your EMT through a local college, you do not have to list all the skills you learned and how they relate to the fire service. Such basic topics as your EMT classes, CPR, and Fire Academies 1 and 2, you do not have to list all the details of how these courses relate to being a firefighter. Your interview panel will clearly understand such topics. You do, however, need to simply list these experiences and move on. When discussing your employment history, it is important to relate your job experiences to those you may encounter as a firefighter. Almost all jobs will to some degree involve such topics as being a member of a team, dealing with internal and external customer service, and teach you how to take orders or directions. If you have experience as a manager or own your own company, you will undoubtedly have some experience in giving directions and being a leader. There are numerous ways you can relate your past job history to that of a firefighter. For example, you could state something like this: as an ER tech, I have experiences that closely relate to that of a professional firefighter. Besides advancing my skills in emergency medicine, I have learned how to be a valuable member of a team, understanding that everyone involved in patient care plays their role to better serve the customer. I have experienced internal and external customer service while working in the ER and understand how important it is to maintain positive relationships with my fellow coworkers while enduring long hours in a high-stress environment. By striving to always show compassion and empathy while serving the customer in a professional manner, it was my hope that their visit to the ER was the best it could possibly be. While this example may not relate to you directly, it is important to note that you too can relate your employment history to a career in the fire service. We believe that you should start out answering this question by listing all of your life experiences, education, and employment on a blank sheet of paper. Then take each of those topics and write down the skills you gained or what you may have learned from these experiences. After this, you can list how these skills and experience relate to the fire service. With everything written down, it becomes very easy to formulate your complete answer of what you have done to prepare for a career in the fire service. Lastly, we will need to cover the category involving your life experiences. Everything you have done to this point in your life that does not fit into the first two categories can go here. Let's say you joined the military after high school. I guess this could fall under employment, but we all know enlisting in the military is much more than just a job. We won't discuss this in depth besides wanting to thank all veterans for their service. It goes without being said that the comparisons between the military and the fire service is obvious. The fire service is a paramilitary organization, so command structures and ranks are similar. Think about what your role was while serving and how it relates to the fire service. We feel this won't be difficult. Another area of discussion in this category revolves around any community service you regularly take part in. If you don't have experience volunteering your time, we would highly advise you to get involved today. The fire service is built on such principles as helping the community, so it will bode well for your oral board panel if you could clearly illustrate that you have volunteered your time prior to getting hired, for you will be expected to continue this practice as a professional firefighter. Feel free to discuss any times you were involved in team or group activities, such as team sports in high school. Here you would have learned such topics as hard work, dedication, along with learning how to be a team player. If you did not play team sports during high school or college, you could always discuss a time you were involved in group-related activities. The important takeaway from this section is that you need to illustrate to the hiring panel that you have experience working as a member of a group or team. In order to score highly on this question, you must clearly demonstrate to the oral board that you are a well-rounded individual with the aptitude, personality, and experiences that will lead you to be successful as a firefighter if given the opportunity. The only way to do this is by listing enough of your past experiences and showing how they relate to the profession. Stop holding back when answering this question and just go for it. We will end this video by listing several possible topics that you may want to include when developing your answer. If you have experiences that are relatable to the fire service outside these listed, we encourage you to use them. As always, best of luck and thanks for joining the EasyHireFirefighter community.